Hello and thanks for joining us for this special edition of Cronkite News. I'm Nkiriko Marnia. Cronkite News is committed to covering stories from Arizona's borderlands and the intersection of politics and culture in our Latino community. Tonight, a look back at some of the top stories from our Borderlands Bureau.
With President Trump's DACA decision made, dreamers turn their focus to what's next for them. Cronkite News reporter Courtney Malley was at an event that offered support and resources as they face an uncertain future.
Understand Spanish, todos los demás entienden español.
DACA recipients and supporters coming together to learn more about the controversial decision to rescind the program made by President Trump. Attorney Daniel Rodriguez spearheading the meeting, which took place Wednesday in a Phoenix church. The message? Dreamers still have a voice.
We have to continue to fight. We have to continue to push. We have to continue to demand and ask for more. So just like we were able to win DACA in 2012, now that DACA is gone, we have to continue to fight and ask for something bigger at the national level.
Rosa Rodriguez, a dreamer and Daniel's sister, came to the United States when she was 3 years old.
With DACA, I was able to get a job. I have a son, so I've been able to get a job to help him and take care of him and my parents. It's just opened up a lot of opportunities to me.
Rosa also says despite the DACA news this week being sad and disappointing, she's going to fight now even harder. And while the decision of what happens with DACA rests in the hands of Congress, Rodriguez says education is the best thing dreamers have to defend themselves.
As an attorney, I have to provide my clients with as much information as possible and help them as fast as I can, especially during these times.
For Rosa, the next 6 months will be action-packed.
Help pass the DREAM Act and work harder on seeing how we can help our youth fight with us. I encourage all of you guys to fight, help us, and be informed of what's going on around you.
In Phoenix, Courtney Malley, Cronkite News.
Rodriguez's law firm is planning on hosting more events like this in the near future for DACA recipients. For more information on when and where, go to our website, cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
In the aftermath of the terror attacks, Muslims at times became targets of hate and bigotry in the U.S., something that community is still hoping to change even today. Cronkite News reporter Fortessa Latifi tells us how.
One of the ways they are trying to achieve that is by holding a local Meet a Muslim Day. Their goal is to show the community their similarities outweigh their differences. On Saturday morning, Muslims from the Phoenix community set up shop on the corner of 5th Street and Mill Avenue for Meet a Muslim Day. Latif Ahmed was there, sign in hand.
The reason often people have negative opinion about others is because they don't know them. But once you get to meet them, once you get to see them face to face, it's pretty difficult to hate somebody that you know.
Organizers say the point of this event is to break down walls and dispel. Paul Cauldron, a Christian man, stopped to thank the Muslim men.
It's been hijacked by jihadists, so they need to recapture what their faith is about and what it represents. So I admire these young men coming out and trying to get the word out.
However, not everyone was as receptive as Cauldron. As they stood on the street, the group faced derogatory comments from some passersby.
Bye. Thank you. Have a nice day. That's okay. We face that every day.
Sufyan Ahmed got the brunt of some of it.
It makes me feel kind of sad that people take assumptions about us and think they just don't even talk to us, just straight up call idiots, don't listen to us, to what we want to say. But if they listened to what we wanted to say, I think they would change their mind.
And that's what this event was all about. Muslims took part in Meet a Muslim Day in 80 cities across the country over the weekend, Tempe being one of them. In the broadcast center, Fortessa Latifi, Cronkite News.
One Valley boxer's Olympic dream is in jeopardy because recipients under DACA cannot leave the country. Reporter Nicole Gutierrez sat down with Leslie Hernandez, who hopes to compete on Mexico's team.
19-year-old Leslie Hernandez has a winning record in the ring, but after finally earning her spot to be a competitor in the Olympics, it can all end within months. She picked up the gloves when she was just 10 years old. Hernandez became a professional boxer at the age of 14.
I always wanted to go to Olympics for boxing.
Hernandez has been in the United States since she was 7 years old. She's under DACA, which at the moment not only puts her stay here in jeopardy, but her spot in Mexico's Olympic team as well.
I was the first female ever in the state of Oaxaca to win a gold medal in a national tournament. So I was the first one there. And that's the state I'm representing.
A dream of nearly a decade, and her future is at stake.
The cancellation of DACA, like, it's sadly not letting me go follow my dreams for now, for the rest of the year. You know, had a lot of tournaments going on this year. Sadly, I'm not gonna be able to make it to those tournaments, and I'm gonna lose, I'll probably be losing my spot, my #1 spot.
For this Valley boxer, boxing means more than just winning titles.
Mexico's never had a female boxer go to Olympics, you know? And being the first ever female boxer to go to Olympics, that like opens a lot of doors for you.
Hernandez couldn't compete for the U.S. because she isn't a citizen, even though this country is the one she calls home.
I've done everything here. I've gotten the help of everyone, of work. I've been to school here. I started boxing here. Just a lot of things, and everything I have is like here.
Unless Congress enacts new legislation to protect DACA recipients, the program will end in 6 months. In Phoenix, Nicole Gutierrez, Cronkite News.
The U.S. Supreme Court is allowing the Trump administration to keep a restrictive policy on refugees. This afternoon, the justices agreed to block a lower court ruling on the controversial travel ban that would have eased restrictions and allowed up to 24,000 refugees to enter the country before the end of October. This isn't a final ruling on the ban. The justices are scheduled to hear official arguments next month. And almost a week after the Trump administration's announcement on DACA, those affected are still processing the news and looking at what their options are. Cronkite News reporter Alex Valdez got an inside look into the life of a DACA recipient while also speaking with an immigration lawyer who's helping those who now need it.
I was brought into the United States when I was like a year and a half. I was born in Michoacan, Mexico. I've never been back since.
Liliana Reyes, a third-time participant of DACA, woke up on September 5th to news that put her dream of becoming a teacher potentially in jeopardy.
I was feeling really sad, scared, because like, what's next? You know, what's happening? What's going to happen with us now?
President Donald Trump fulfilled a key campaign promise on Tuesday to roll back on an immigration program that protects young, undocumented immigrants from deportation. Reyes is just one of 28,000 recipients in Arizona that the administration's decision will affect.
I didn't think it was gonna go this far. I knew our president he said we had a place in his heart.
The administration is giving participants whose permits expire before March 5th, 2018 until October 5th of this year to reapply. Attorney Phil Ortega at Udall-Shumway is offering free consultations to assist during the application process.
According to the numbers we're hearing, there's 211,000 DACA recipients currently that expire before March 5th, 2018 that are in need of renewals in the next month.
Reyes says she hopes lawmakers know DACA recipients are not to blame.
I'm pretty sure everybody in the world can agree with me that they'll do anything for their children. And I mean, I'm here, I've been here all my life. It's not fair that I should be treated any differently.
In Phoenix, Alex Valdez, Cronkite News.
Reyes' work permit is set to expire in 2019, and the DACA program is no longer accepting new applications. ASU Center for the Study of Race and Democracy is hosting a DACA workshop tomorrow night, open to students and their families to connect with local attorneys and learn about next steps.
President Donald Trump is having a working dinner tonight with leaders of Latin American countries. That's following his first appearance at the United Nations General Assembly. And as Trump's immigration policy continues to take center stage, Cronkite News reporter Nicole Gutierrez took a closer look at immigrants and their impact on Arizona's economy.
Foreigners in Arizona have demonstrated to contribute to their Arizona economy by creating businesses that leads to jobs. Tortas Paquime is a family-run business in Phoenix that has fueled the state's economic growth by sharing their Mexican culture.
I know the difficulty of being an immigrant. I came here after high school. I went to college in this country. I graduated. I went to Mexico, started my own business over there, and came back.
Operations Director of Tortas Paquime, Jesus Alvarez, is of the immigrant population who hopes to cultivate emerging leaders.
Share what I've learned in my personal experience at other jobs and also in my career as a business administration major. I think that it's important for everybody within the company to grow and to learn and expand their knowledge on how to be a better leader.
You can't have economic growth without immigration.
Garrick Taylor from the Arizona Chamber of Commerce says immigration plays a key role in the Arizona workforce.
50% of our working population in Arizona is U.S. born.
And according to newamericaneconomy.org, the foreign-born population is 70.5% of that working population. For the past 3 years, Alvarez has overseen 5 store locations and a recession.
Not too long after the recession, a year or two, we opened up a location, and we just invested in keeping good quality and also giving good service.
Tortas Paquime celebrates their 15th year anniversary this year, but it's not just their authentic Mexican food that keeps their business going.
I think that it's important as immigrants to have a good attitude, and as a director of operation, my responsibility is to irradiate that good attitude, that positive attitude, and that hope that everything's going to work fine for my employees.
Tortas Paquime has more than 80 employees at the moment, and the franchise plans to open 2 more locations by the end of this year. In the broadcast center, Nicole Gutierrez, Cronkite News.
People with disabilities can sometimes feel left out or unable to access certain resources. So several organizations came together to focus on the Latino community, hoping to fill that need. Cronkite News reporter Alex Valdez was there and shares the kind of impact events like these can have.
It was a day filled with inspiration, information, and resources for a part of the Latino community that needs it most. Over the weekend, Ability 360, along with Chicanos por la Causa and AARP, hosted an event geared towards those living with a disability. Jose Ortiz Reyes has seen firsthand the impact this kind of help can have.
Most important is because people got information what I need to do and to modify the service to living great and living well.
The second annual summit is the only one of its kind in Arizona and was created to show those with disabilities they are not alone. With over 50 different bilingual exhibitors on site, it was a one-stop shop for those who wanted to get informed.
Latino community has a different culture and they don't reach out to the services. So we want them to come over.
And while the event was open to everyone, Cavazos says they want the Latino community to know there's help out there should they need it.
They're not the only one living with a disability, and they can have an independent living. They can live a life full of happiness, enrichment.
In Phoenix, Alex Valdez, Cronkite News.
Ability 360 is a fully accessible facility in Phoenix that is open to anyone with disabilities and their loved ones. For more information, you can visit their website, ability360.org.
Back in 2010, Mexican-American studies were banned in the Tucson Unified School District, kicking off grassroots activisms by teachers and students opposed to the law. Cronkite News reporter Fortessa Latifi has the story of how that fight is now being told on stage.
The play is called Más, meaning more in Spanish. More activism, more engagement, more results, according to the play's writer, Milta Ortiz.
I think it's always good to remember this. You know, we can't forget, because then it just becomes the norm.
Más was performed over the weekend at Phoenix's Center for the Arts in downtown. Both of its shows sold out. 18-year-old Daphne Cervantes was at one of them and says the current political climate makes plays like this even more relevant.
I think it's made people more aware of, like, dude, like, racism is a thing. It's always been a thing. It's never gone away.
Ricky Quintana agrees. He says the play is a bridge between the past and present.
I thought it was really powerful and relevant given what has been happening the past few weeks, especially with DACA.
Moss's messages of protecting cultural heritage and the empowerment of the minority students who fought against HB 2281 were portrayed on stage through different forms.
The play includes indigenous music, dancing, and actual footage of students protesting the ban.
As for playwright Ortiz, she says she wants her work to start a conversation.
Whenever we experience something that's outside of our own, we have more understanding for that and therefore more compassion.
In Phoenix, for Tessa Latifi, Cronkite News.
Just last month, a federal judge ruled the Mexican-American Studies ban was unconstitutional and motivated by racial discrimination. The judge has said he will decide what the, quote, appropriate remedy for the ruling will be after another hearing in the next few weeks.
Another group of activists is also sending a message through artistic expression. Cronkite News reporter Bridget Dowd shows us how street dance activism is moving people.
Those are the basic steps to the jerk stomp. But here, it's not just about moving your feet. It's about drawing attention to a political movement. Dancer and Black Lives Matter activist Shamel Bell led the lecture and dance workshop with ASU's Center for the Study of Race and Democracy.
We can completely obliterate the system as we know it now and create something from nothing and have these dreams become a reality. The dreams of freedom, the actual freedom of all people, become a reality.
Bell says she was inspired to take action when she heard about incidents of police brutality, but instead of marching through the streets,
right, left,
she decided to teach dance classes in the middle of them.
The artists are the ones that are going to win this revolution.
People from all different backgrounds came together Wednesday night to dance, discuss, and de-stress. ASU student Joy Ivy says she liked how Bell wasn't just talking at the audience members, but with them.
She kind of flipped the paradigm and let people know that this is a communal effort on both sides of the front. I don't have all the answers, you don't have all the answers. We're here to work together to find solutions.
After speaking to community members, ASU staff, and students, guest speaker Shamel Bell gave them some basic dance tools that they could use to break off into groups and create their own unique choreography.
Matthew Sandoval is a professor with Barrett the Honors College, which partnered with CSRD to host the event.
Any race, any color, any ethnicity, ability, class, all of that kind of evaporated because people were just in the movement. Not everybody likes to dance and feels comfortable, but when you start putting some of those moves in your body, you know what I mean? Like you're breaking down walls because you're being really real with another person in that space.
Finding common ground by sharing dance space. In Phoenix, Bridget Dowd, Cronkite News.
Sandoval says Barrett plans to host future events like this one, bringing in other artists who use their work to create social change.
The Arizona Department of Transportation is also offering new classes as part of a training program specifically designed for Mexican commercial truck drivers. The classes have been an unexpected hit, and Cronkite News reporter Jackie Lopez visited the border on both sides of Nogales to see exactly why.
It's inspections like these that help keep Arizona's roads safe, and now ADOT has found a new way to make them easier for thousands of Mexican truck drivers who cross into the state every day. What started with 4 sessions has now expanded to 8 in several border cities, including this one in Mexican side of Nogales. The classes focus on truck safety and standards. They're taught by ADOT officials in Espanol, and the students are all Mexicans, like Miguel Villegas Ramirez from Sonora. He says sometimes drivers cross the border in trucks that simply are not safe.
A lot of the times we would enter with a flat tire, or I don't know, we would be missing a pin or a cap screw. We wouldn't secure the load properly.
Villegas says some drivers will also complain about the penalty fees once they reach ADOT inspection sites, not understanding why they were being fined.
When you come here and you find out what the officials base their inspections, violation tickets, or penalties, you understand that what they say is correct.
During this session we visited, 60 people signed up. They're having to take a class 2 days in a row from 9 till 5. On their second day, they must pass a test to get their certificate. ADOT Director John Hawakoski says the new program has received a lot of good reaction from the Mexican drivers.
The feedback has been very positive because I think it takes a lot of uncertainty out of the drivers' lives.
Another new way to connect drivers and ADOT officials has been through the use of the WhatsApp phone application.
People who take the course automatically receive a right to be in a WhatsApp group or to have contact with an official, and you can ask them questions directly.
He says that allows him to be better prepared for inspections and ready to drive safely through Arizona's highways.
Definitely, all this can help us have better relations with our neighbor to the north.
In the Nogales border with Mexico, Jackie Lopez, Cronkite News.
The next set of classes offered by ADOT will be in Hermosillo, Sonora, Mexico on October 10th and the 11th. The classes are free and open to all Mexican trailer drivers.
Tribal Justice, a documentary following the lives of 2 chief tribe judges in Arizona and California, hopes to shed a light on how tribal courts really work. Cronkite News reporter Courtney Malley spoke with local tribal leaders about changes they hope to see.
Law students, professors, and tribal members gathered in downtown Phoenix to view Tribal Justice, a documentary hoping to shed light on common issues seen on reservations, from lack of federal funding to guardianship appeals. Claudette White, one of the judges featured in the documentary, says she'd like to see changes outside of Indian country.
I hope for more collaboration with our state partners, state court, state service providers. I'm hoping that they look into tribal courts to see the kind of work that we're doing and maybe take some of those models, work with us closer to figure out how we can address common issues affecting all of our members.
Some of the issues facing Native populations include big differences between the tribal and state courts and also lack of economic resources. One big difference is that inside a tribal justice courtroom, peacemaking is normally the way to achieving resolution, rather than punitive punishment for those in trouble with common law.
The federal and state courts have a lot to learn from what tribal judges do. They're innovative, they're caring, and they work, which is the most important point.
For active tribal court members, this documentary is opening the door for what they say are reoccurring issues for the youth in their community.
It's connected to a lot of different issues like economics, jobs, crime, and drugs. And hopefully it helps raise these conversations and keeps people talking about what we can do to help fix the problem.
And while the documentary is one way to bring awareness to the issues they face, there are tribal members who say they need help now.
There's still plenty out there, who don't have their voice heard or, they don't have the means.
In Phoenix, Courtney Malley, Cronkite News.
Those who attended the screening say they hope to see more stories out in the open about other tribal justice issues, including racism and sexism on reservations.
One of the hurricane survivors is an Arizonan who was vacationing on the island. She's now helping victims still there by coordinating donations here. Cronkite News reporter Tessa Latifi brings us her story of survival and giving back.
The wind and the rain and the wind just banging against the building and not knowing what was going on.
11 days after Hurricane Maria devastated Puerto Rico, Lilian Ortiz is still reliving that fateful day. The Valley resident of Puerto Rican descent happened to be vacationing on the island with her boyfriend when the storm hit. They were left completely cut off from the rest of the world.
But I think the worst was not being able to communicate, not knowing or letting your family know that you were okay.
Over the weekend, she was one of dozens of volunteers who gathered in this warehouse collecting supplies for the victims in Puerto Rico.
Everything that you see here has been donated, from the warehouse space to the supplies, and even the pizza that the volunteers had for lunch.
Congressman Raul Grijalva says President Trump has not done enough to help the victims in Puerto Rico.
And the Puerto Rican community here has responded with great strength and without any fanfare. Let's compare that to what is going on with this administration. We're going on 10 days.
Zulema Rodriguez, one of the organizers of the donation drive, has a message for President Trump.
Don't go to my island to just tour it. Go there if you mean it. Don't go there just to say you went. We don't want you unless you're going to actually do something.
However, the president did say he'll be in Puerto Rico on Tuesday, assisting and supporting the people in their time of need. After surviving the hurricane, Ortiz says one thing is clear to her.
How precious life is, how we're spoiled. We're spoiled. You know, electricity, water, modern technology. You take a lot of things for granted. So I think it's more appreciating now what we have.
For Tessa Latifi, Cronkite News.
Not too many people would be excited to get up before sunrise on a Saturday, but that's exactly what hundreds of people did in one West Valley neighborhood. With a goal of new sense of pride, Cronkite News reporter Alex Valdez was there and shows how they did it.
A neighborhood located just north of 35th Avenue in Buckeye has seen its fair share of garbage, overgrown shrubs, and dirt. These are the reasons why this neglected and forgotten part of Phoenix was chosen by Chicanos por la Casa for their 9th annual Barrios Bellos, an event steered towards transforming communities. Weed whackers, rakes, and trash bags weren't the only tools needed to help restore this barrio. An army of volunteers was also on hand providing the elbow grease and the passion to get Cuban Park neighborhood cleaned up.
You have the wealthy Latinos, people that are well off, and then you have the very poor Latinos. And right here is one of those neighborhoods.
Every year, Chicanos por la Casa picks a neighborhood in need of a makeover, often found in Hispanic communities. But don't be fooled. Those who live and work in this area see the beauty that lies underneath all that dirt.
Community support is a huge passion of mine. It's embedded within me, so I do love to give back.
Over 300 volunteers came and rolled up their sleeves at the 9th annual Barrios Bellos cleanup event to help beautify a part of Phoenix that Chicanos por la Casa says is often overlooked.
What really hits home is where we live in. You know, a lot of our team members do live in this community, within the community, so definitely a great opportunity to, when you do live in this community, to give back.
Chicanos por la Casa says when community members come together to help their own, it creates a domino effect.
We clean up the general areas, being the alleys, the streets. It encourages the people there to clean up their individual home.
Neighbors helping neighbors, no matter where they come from.
We want to connect with everyone, whether you're Latino, Caucasian, African American. It's definitely a great time to really have an opportunity to help out the people that live in this neighborhood.
Thanks for joining us for this special edition of Cronkite News. For more multimedia coverage, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org and click on the Borderlands tab.